corpse bride. When a shy groom practices his wedding vows in the inadvertent presence of a deceased young woman, she rises from the grave assuming he has married her. Set back in the late 1800s in a Victorian village, a man and woman by the names of Victor Van Dort and Victoria Everglot are betrothed because the Everglots need the money, or else they'll be living on the streets, and the Van Dorts want to be high in society. But when things go wrong at the wedding rehearsal, Victor goes into the woods to practice his vows. Just as soon as he gets them right, he finds himself married to Emily, the corpse bride. While Victoria waits on the other side, there's a rich newcomer that may take Victor's place. So 2 brides, 1 groom, who will Victor pick? When an arranged marriage between Victor Van Dort and Victoria Everglot reaches the rehearsals, Victor starts to worry. Spending time alone in the forest, Victor decides to practice on his own. Everything seems to go well until he accidentally puts the ring upon the hand of a corpse. Before he knows it, Victor is in the land of dead and now has a corpse bride. Whilst everyone's worries about who Victoria will marry in the land of the living, Victor desperately finds a way to get back. His new dead bride takes him with her to the land of the dead, while his living fiancé waits desperately for his return in the land of the living. With 2 brides both pining for him, Victor must decide between his love at first sight fiancée Victoria or his tragic corpse bride Emily. Emily reunites Victor with his long-deceased dog, Scraps, and they bond. Desperate to return to Victoria, Victor tricks Emily into returning them to the land of the living by claiming he wants her to meet his parents. Emily brings Victor to see Elder Gutnecht, the kindly ruler of the underworld, who grants them temporary passage. Victor, feeling guilty for tricking Emily, asks the bride to wait in the forest. He successfully reunites with Victoria and confesses his wish to marry her as soon as possible. Before the pair can share a kiss, Emily discovers them, and feeling betrayed and hurt, drags Victor back to the land of the dead tears to shed. Victoria quickly tries to tell her parents of Victor's situation, but neither believe her nor assume he has left her. Against her will, they decide to marry her to a presumed wealthy visitor named Lord Barkis Bittern, who appeared at the wedding rehearsal. Lady Everglot is relieved since their financial situation is perilous, and nobody would ever marry Victoria if the word got out that she is mad. After reconciling with Emily, Victor tells him that it was wrong to trick her, but he wanted to let Victoria know, so she didn't worry about him. Victor learns of Victoria's impending marriage to Barkis from his family's newly deceased coachman. Upset over this news, Victor decides to marry Emily, learning that this will require him to repeat his wedding vows in the land of the living and drink a deadly poison in order to join her in death. The dead swiftly prepare for the ceremony and head upstairs. The wedding song, where the town erupts into a temporary panic upon their arrival until everyone recognizes their departed loved ones and joyously reunite. The chaos causes a panicked Barkis to expose his own poor financial standing and his intentions to marry Victoria only for her supposed wealth, leading her to reject him. Victoria follows everyone to Victor and Emily's wedding as Victor completes his vows and prepares to drink the poison, only for Emily to stop him when she realizes she is denying Victoria her chance to live happily with him. Just as Emily reunites Victor and Victoria, Barkis arrives to kidnap Victoria. Emily recognizes him as her previous fiancé and reveals he was also her murderer. Victor duels with Barkis to protect Victoria, and Emily intervenes to save Victor's life. Barkis mockingly toasts Emily for dying unwed and unwittingly drinks the poison that Victor nearly took, causing him to die and allowing the dead who cannot interfere in the affairs of the living to take retribution against him for his crimes. Emily, now freed from her torment, frees Victor of his vow to marry her and returns his ring, allowing him to marry Victoria, whom she throws her wedding bouquet to. As she steps into the moonlight, she fades away into hundreds of butterflies and flies into the sky, finding peace as Victor and Victoria watch and embrace.